Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new to my channel, welcome to Anything and Everything with Anita. Today I'm gonna take you guys on a little journey into my backyard. We are gonna do some gardening. I am so excited. I can't wait to show you guys what I have to plant this year. My hubby was sweet enough to go and pick me up herbs like rosemary, oregano, peppermint, even parsley. So if you guys enjoy gardening and you want to get some tips and tricks from a fellow gardener, please continue on and watch this video. Let's get started. Alrighty guys, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna show you guys all the herbs I have for this year. So the first one is curled parsley. The second one, which is my absolute favorite, is sweet basil. Next we have peppermint. We have rosemary. And the final herb that I have is Greek oregano. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I have a cedar chest that I usually put all my herbs in. Generally what I do is I put my herbs in my cedar chest, and then in my garden I'll plant, you know, the bigger vegetables like tomatoes and peppers and all that stuff. So because I used my cedar chest last year, I'm actually clearing out some old roots that dug into the earth that I have from my previous plants. Last year I made the mistake of putting my peppermint plant along with all the rest of my herbs, and the peppermint plant ended up growing all throughout the bottom portion of the soil, eating through the bottom of all my other herbs. It just spreads. It's crazy. So this year I'm going to plant it in a container and just have my herbs nice in the soil here in my cedar chest without getting them completely intertwined with the peppermint plant. So just a little tip for you: if you want peppermint, go ahead and put that in a pot. Alright, so we're gonna start with parsley. I bought 2 little herbs this year. So what I generally do is I bring them into my little area where I'm planting them, and with my little gardening tool I start to dig a little hole just so that I could get the entire bottom portion of the plant to sit into my cedar chest. I'm going to show you guys a little close up here. So I just dig a little bit, move the soil around, and then I'll actually place the entire plant in just to see how much space I have. So I think this is good. Alrighty, so to release the plant from the temporary pot, I generally just squeeze it all around and I rotate it. And then I will, you know, take whatever's off of it, that being a plastic label. The instructions for this one was to actually wet the pots so that it's easier to remove the pot from the soil, because it is rooted and it does get sticky sometimes. So that's what I'm doing here. So the first one is coming apart. It's like kind of like a cardboard. Sometimes they come in like little plastic pots, but this one was more like a cardboard, so the roots are a little bit stuck to it, but that's okay. There you go, that's our first one. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the second one. This one actually comes out a lot easier. Some are more stuck than others. So I decided to place the 2 parsley plants one in front of the other, just to give them a little bit more, you know, space. And as you guys could see, I do leave some space from the borders of the cedar chest just so that they don't, you know, just so that they have space to grow. So what I'm gonna do afterwards is I'm gonna cover the entire base of the plant with soil. Make sure it's completely covered. I press down the soil just to make sure that everything is good and in place, and then I water it. This is the most important step, to give it some water just so that the roots could start to grow and the plant could start to settle into its new home. Next, we're going to move on and we're going to do my favorite herb, which is basil. So just so you guys know, basil is fairly easy to grow. This plant really likes heat, and it does pretty good as long as the night temperatures don't drop below 10 degrees. All the herbs I'm planting today like a lot of sun, so 6 to 8 hours of sun. Some could be grown in the shade, but generally, you know, they like sun. Also, all the herbs I'm planting today like moist soil, well-drained soil, which is why I plant them in the cedar chest, because there's little holes underneath that allow extra water to fall through. The only herb that I'm planting today that doesn't really love water all that much is oregano. That is completely fine if you just have the soil dry out a little bit and then add some more water. So I wanted to mention before, parsley is actually very good to grow in your garden. If you want to grow it next to asparagus, corn, and tomatoes, it does really well. And so does basil. Alrighty, back to it. So we finally reached our oregano plant. So oregano is a great companion plant for any vegetable in the garden. FYI, in case you're planting it in a garden. But like I had said before, it doesn't need that much water. Generally, oregano is fine with little water. And typically you're supposed to really add water when you feel like the soil is dry, but because I have all my herbs together in one cedar chest, I just water them all at once, and then whatever the plant doesn't want, then the water will just drip down to the bottom of the chest. And finally, I'm going to be doing my rosemary. So I'm just going to dig up a little hole for that soon. So rosemary loves full sun. It likes well-drained soil. And for those who don't know, rosemary can actually grow very tall. It could grow 4 feet tall and could even spread to 4 feet wide. So generally, I like to take one nice little rosemary plant and I give it a lot of space to grow. And it's also a great plant that could be planted in the garden near beans, cabbage, carrots, and even sage. And on to my peppermint plant. So I basically harvest all of my herbs throughout the summer, but my peppermint plant is absolutely my favorite one to grow because I make peppermint essential oils. So like I had said, this year I'm going to be planting it in its individual pot. I gave it a nice big pot so that it could, you know, grow and the roots could just go everywhere they want to go without bothering my other herbs. But generally peppermint loves water. It will grow better in full sun. but it's really easy to grow. It just spreads everywhere. As long as you keep giving it water and sun, it'll just grow and grow and grow, and you could harvest the peppermint throughout the summer. And I will be letting you guys know how to properly harvest your herbs throughout the summer. It's very important just to encourage growth, to keep cutting leaves off and, you know, harvesting your leaves or your stems and stuff like that. So I will be doing a separate video once my herbs grow tall enough to show you guys how to properly harvest basil, oregano, rosemary, parsley, and peppermint. So I'm actually doing here exactly what I did in the cedar chest. I'm ensuring that the plants are well covered with soil at their base, and then I'm gonna actually water this afterwards. Hey guys, I am back from gardening. If you have come this far into the video, thank you for joining me. Today was really fun. If you guys are new to gardening or you've been gardening for a while, you know that gardening is super relaxing and rewarding. So I look forward to showing you guys how my plants grow, and I look forward to filming a video to show you guys all the rest of the plants that I want to plant into my huge garden, which is in the corner of my backyard. So if you like this video, please comment down below, and if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. And that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for joining, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.